Not like brine.
No. Dude,
I got so excited.
Formaldehyde. It does not.
I got so excited, because I went up to the table and he opened it and smelled it, and then I was, waiting. I think Luke was around the corner talking to somebody, and then when we got back together, I told dude, I'm gonna bring that bait to the shop, and he's like, you can't.
Nope.
I was like, I forgot Asian carp.
It's illegal.
Oh,
don't say
silver
that.
carp, big head carp. What is it?
You're a minority. You can say it.
Yeah. I'm surprised they don't have a Mexican carp, bro. Which is the Mexican carp, the one that goes arriba. Oh Lord.
Welcome back to a brand new podcast, Blindcast Podcast. I am Luke Henches, and today we have Mr. Ron Doughty, and we have Luke Welch, we have Scott Goodman, and then obviously Chewy, the owner of Old Carver Fishing. We got a show today.
Yeah, what's going on, Ron?
Feels good to see that cold weather out there and feel it at the same time because we got to get some ice going.
You're big into ice fishing, aren't you?
Yeah, I am big into it.
Tell everybody where you're from.
I was conceived in Scotland. I was born in Portland, Maine, and I lived in Boston for about 27 years. But I did a lot of ice fishing up in the New England area.
Nice.
So
You a Patriots fan?
wait a second. Hold on a second.
I would take that as a yes.
Oh, jeez, look at that. This guy knows me. I just met him tonight.
Boo.
How about Tom Brady?
He must be hurting now with the Tom Brady gone.
Yeah,
He's still a goat.
he is.
What kind of ice fishing do you do over there?
The interesting thing is where I'm from, we don't spearfish. There's no spearfishing involved anywhere. So when I came here, I was like, what's that? I thought we were digging back to dinosauric ages, but really it's the difference is you can have 2 tip-ups here, and up there you can have 5.
Wow.
So each person can have a line of 5. So
Wow.
a lot of time when you have a channel going in between an island or the land, you'll see people that just run lines right across a line of 5 and sit there and slay them all day.
Jeez.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Never miss them.
No, and it's plentiful as far as salmon and brownies, brookies, splake, that kind of fish. So
Good eating.
What's the most targeted fish over there? Like most popular, I guess, like over here.
Geez, it's got to be probably salmon.
Really?
Probably
Oh,
salmon and brownies, brown trout. Yeah, those are probably some of the biggest targeted fish up there. Pike, of course, there's pike everywhere. But
Bass?
yeah, big bass tournaments up that way. Huge bass tournaments,
Really?
Actually. Ike and Ellie, I'm sure you guys know who Mike Ike and
Oh
Ellie is.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, he does some tournaments up that way.
He's the goat in my book.
Is for real. I wear a pair of glasses, say Ike on the side, and people are like, who's Ike?
Yeah, I love his.
I'm like, don't talk to me if you don't know who Ike is.
I really like his podcast.
Yeah.
His urban fishing series on YouTube is
Yeah.
sick. Super cool.
Did you see the one where he's fishing out of the drains
I'm not sure.
of the sewer system
No, I didn't.
Oh, I have seen
I didn't
that.
see that.
in the street? He's pulling them out, dude. This is dude, if I can do that here,
Yeah.
I
That'd
just
be
ice
awesome.
fish right out there.
Pull the sewer cover up and just slay
I
him.
bet you guys work for a fish fry. Wait for Luke to come back.
Extra large tip ups in the wintertime.
Are you even doing any fishing over there?
In Bemidji?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just last week, Friday, ice started to come up, and people are it's very thin, probably 2 inches. Good luck for them, but they haven't fell in.
Go look for them.
Yeah.
Scotty just went out in 1 inch.
Oh,
I was out on like 3.5 today. I don't know. It varied, but it wasn't bad. Like it was good.
You were on 1 inch of ice?
No, I was on like 3.5.
3.5.
That's plenty.
Yeah.
It was
That is.
plenty for me.
Even for a chunker like me, that's pretty good.
I'm going up. I'm going up to Upper Red on the 10th and 11th. and I got a feeling we'll be dealing with some of that. But
You
that
know what-
early walleye up there.
You know what they call that when you go to the red? Hitting the easy button.
Cha-ching! Is that big red button that doesn't say panic? It just says red.
Right.
Yeah, we should make some buttons like that with different fish
Yeah.
names on them.
Yeah.
Bass and walleye guys will go at it.
You know
They
what?
always
Last year when I was up there, they got that break out there that they got signs, don't go beyond it. And there's
Yeah.
still people going out there. And I'm like, it amazes me. I stayed in 12 inches. 12 feet of water. And I just slayed him right there. It was just sick. And then I had that moment where the ice went,
Oh,
you know what I mean? And I was like,
Well, last year was when the people out in Superior got stuck out on the ice.
Yeah, they lost
The
a
ice-
lot of
Really?
gear.
The ice separated there. It was 100 feet of water.
Yeah.
They're all started floating away. The Coast Guard or whoever had to come pick them up in boats. I had a friend that actually brought some aluminum boat out there and scooted it out. Mav, Mav, he actually,
Did he recover some gear?
no, he got people like thousands of dollars of gear he bought from his own pocket.
I
Got him,
saw that
got him
video.
gift cards and gave them to the people that lost all their gear.
Dude, I saw that
That's
video. That
awesome,
was
dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
fisherman's code right there, huh?
uh-huh.
He's a good kid.
Part of that good stuff.
Oh, there's a lot of guys that do that. We've heard of a lot of guys out there.
Well, you guys remember that little kid that ended up on getting run over by somebody on
Alan?
Chisago? Yeah,
Yep.
and then Ice Castle went and built him a castle for the father and mother and named it Alan
Yep.
and gave him an ice castle. I was like, that's fisherman's code.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of good-hearted people out here, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
A lot
So-
of good companies out here.
Yeah.
Really good companies.
Just
Yeah.
the companies. I mean, just your
People that run them, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, when I first moved here, because clams big everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
but then I moved here and I drove by the main outlet or whatever.
By
I was like-
Rogers.
I'm like, that's where clam is. Okay. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I drove by there. a couple times. Yeah. Do they let visitors? No.
Yeah, there's a store in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I've been there twice. I've been there twice. One time, this is no diss against Clam, but my brand new house, I was having problems with my hub. Like I couldn't even fish. Like the top of my hub would shoot down and like almost hit me in the head. And there's a bolt that sticks out like that, and it would all of a sudden just collapse and shoot straight down, like almost impale my head. I sent it in to get it fixed. They fixed it, and I got it back. Next time I went out, it did the same thing. I left that thing on their doorstep. I just set it there on a Sunday and left.
They get back to you?
Oh yeah, I messaged him and said I left you my fish house. I said it didn't work. We were there to film a show. We couldn't even film it. It was so bad. It kept collapsing. Oh, but they made it right, and I still use my clam. I love it. So
Yeah.
They are good about making it right.
For a while, we heard all about polar bird. I think it was called polar bird.
Yep, Polar Bird.
Bird.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what that is.
They had the original floor and all the hubs. Like it came velcroed in, and that was before anybody was doing it.
Oh, for the hubs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that the stitching. They always claim that when I talked to them, they always claim that Clam stole that from them. But
I use
Prove
foam
it.
squares on the bottom of my hub.
that's what I use.
I don't
Yeah.
use them, but I'm gonna if I ever camp.
That's why I got them now.
Yeah.
I kind of taped them together.
It's nice. We use them for when we're filming. We lay like a 3x3 thing of the big squares. It's as big as this table, and we set all of our camera gear on it and
Nice.
all of our
Yeah.
stuff. It works great.
Yeah, I like it.
So just so to tell you that I have a buddy at Cintas and I get big rugs and I just sit down. I guess that probably ain't fair, is it?
That's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, I get hooked up.
Just
So
a rug?
yeah, they're like mats that you big huge rubber mats,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and
we're
they
talking about-
fit. Yeah, 4 of them fit perfect. Like
Hmm.
boom, 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 boom. So you just basically, and that leaves edges on,
Yep.
on the ends
For your holes.
for
And,
your holes, and yeah, but they're heavy.
I'm excited to
They're
ice
not
fish. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even love ice fishing, but I'm excited this year. I don't know why.
I thought you did.
No,
You're
I like it, but I really like my boat.
I had your boat.
That's why Scott was on the ice today, and I was in my boat.
Yep.
I'm gonna enjoy being in that boat. So Ron, Tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, I was out on Thole on Shakopee, 2018, and I had to shovel a path out. It took me about 3 hours to shovel a path out so I could drive my Lexus out to these 2 honey holes. So, I set up, and I always had these lights that I put 3 around each tip up. And I'm just, I'm sitting there fishing, and I'm like, okay, I've done this 4 days this week already. And I thought to myself, why don't I just build a business and make money doing this? If I'm always fishing, why don't I just do that?
Yeah.
And that's where the idea originated from, outside of the fact that I did this up in New England with only 2 shacks or 2 shanties. And now I got 7 of them, but, it was it started simply because my dad took me ice fishing when I was 2. Of course, my dad went to the better part of the world when I was 4, so I didn't really get to fish a long time with him, but that's really where it stemmed from.
Mm-hmm.
I originally moved here in 2013 to sing country music, to be honest with you, ronscottcountry.com, and did a couple singles. That was the original reason I came here. People, asked, how come not Nashville or this or that? And that was really just everybody's going to Nashville. There's a lot of talent there that's not getting looked at anyway. So go someplace maybe where you can stand out, like Chris Hockey, for example.
I like Chris.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So I end up going around different parts of Minnesota doing shows, and finally, I'm 46 years old now, and I said, what can I do to when I was out there ice fishing, what can I do to besides doing an ice fishing business? And I thought to myself, I'm a big history guy, lighthouses and stuff like that. And I know people here are very interested in lighthouses and histories of them and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I made this business, Fish the Ice Zone, a business. And I did it. I did it with each shack being named after a lighthouse. So, for example, Split Rock. You go inside. There's pictures, information when it was established, and it's considered where education and ice fishing meet. And so that was the original idea of doing that. We don't allow tablets at Fish the Ice Zone because it's not one of those places. Bring yourself and catch some fish and get a little history on a lighthouse maybe you didn't know about. I had people that are from here their whole life, and they read stuff about Split Rock they didn't even know. So it's just because you live where you might have a lighthouse doesn't mean you know anything about it. And it's some of the history of those places and different lighthouses are amazing. So that's what I do. I'm going to be out on Thole this year. It's going to be a good time. It's we're going to have a fishing league going on Friday nights. We're going to have also fishing tournaments on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and open fish for all on Monday and Wednesday, and then kids on the Saturday and Sunday. So kids can win prizes, tackle boxes, jig poles, stuff like that. It's all considered to be the fish that gets the longest fish. So what happens is $2 per rental goes into a fish basket. So the child that catches the biggest fish all season gets that whole pot of money at the end.
Nice.
And then $1 goes to Chaska Fishing for Friends. $1 will go to them guys as well. I'm on their website as well. So they anything I can do to give kids something different than public school and all the baloney that's going on in the world, because as we all know,
Right.
That's probably could have saved us many times. Fishing.
What a great, now that I'm sitting here talking to Ron, what a great opportunity for people that don't have to go to these premier lakes up in northern Minnesota that want to get their kids in a fish house. Be like, some parents have never ice fished. Be like,
No.
my kid wants to ice fish. Well, what do? You go to Ron.
Yeah. My brother loved it.
Right. It's not on the Red Lake. It's not on Lake of the Woods, but it's here. It's easy. There's good fish in Thole.
Yeah,
There is.
And it's a good experience to get your feet in the door.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it was your nephew that won a prize last year.
Yeah.
Got the biggest fish of the day, Yeah, it's it's fun to watch big kids like us go out there, because what happens is at night when you turn the lights off, there's the star constellation, all the sleeves glow in the dark, all the rattle reels, all the metal fixtures. So you turn the lights off and everything glows in the dark, and it's like you're at Valley Fair or some weird,
Nice.
adventure experience. So and of course, as big kids, we're still like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I like that.
I do too.
I look forward to seeing many people come out and fish this year. And Chewy, you got to see it firsthand and
Oh yeah,
experience it.
they're nice.
Were you one of the kids, Chewy?
Yep, almost won. Tristan,
You were-
Tristan, my nephew, he beat me.
You were a big boy that
Yeah, I think
day.
your nephew was in front of you, and then everybody else was waddling behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, that dude is a fisherman throughout it. I mean,
Who's that?
Kid, Tristan, my nephew,
Yeah.
100% fisherman. He wants to start his own YouTube channel. He already told me what it's gonna be called, and we're gonna go for it. We're gonna kickstart him.
That's so awesome.
Do it.
Yeah, he's
How old is he?
he's gonna be 8 now.
No,
Oh,
perfect.
geez.
Get him started
Let's
young.
go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 8.
That's when John B started when he was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then now look at him.
Yeah.
He was one of the longest fishing YouTubers ever. I mean, he started when he was a little kid,
Yeah.
and now he's part owner of the Guggen Squad and all that crazy stuff.
It's funny how you.
It's fun to watch him grow.
Mhm.
It's fun to watch him grow. There's a lot of YouTubers that I see now that I'm like, I remember them from 10 years back. You give them a view here and there, a couple of minutes, and then you go off and then you see him and you're like,
Speaking of grow, when I fished when I took him out on sturgeon fishing, a couple of the Guggen guys, I couldn't believe how tall he was.
yeah.
He doesn't come off that tall in videos. He's tall, dude.
How tall?
I don't know. I told him when I saw him, I was like, dude, you're way taller than I thought you were going to be. He's like, what? I was like, dude, you're tall. Yeah, I took him out for the first time in a vehicle on the ice in his whole life because he grew up in Illinois. And when I took him on the Crow, he's like, we're driving the cars out? I said, hell yeah, we're driving the cars out there. There's 3/4 ton trucks out there. He's like, I've never done this. But he did it.
It's funny how many people you run across, and they're like, I ain't going out there. And you can, I showed a picture to a friend of mine. He still won't go out on the ice. And it was a BB Lake. It was a fishing tourney. And there was 35, 40 vehicles right next to each other out there, and
Chewy won't do it.
he would.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to remember, 4 hours south of here, you can't drive on lakes. 4 hours is all you need to go before you can't
Yep.
even drive a
Yeah.
vehicle on the lake. It's
You
crazy.
can't even think about it.
Totally not. So you still don't drive out? No? On ice?
Well, I did when we went to
The ice?
the
Okay.
zone.
Yeah.
But even then, I thought about it. I told my brother, "Hey, dude, why don't I just ride with you and I leave it here?" He's like, "Yeah, leave it there so they can hit it or something." I'm
I
like,
could see
"Nah."
Chewy coming down across the ice with half his body out the window. Just in case.
Orange, that little
My
orange
door,
thing in his hand.
my door was open, bro. I'm not gonna lie. My door is open. Like, I'm driving and I'm my door. I got my foot out.
I just
Totally
keep the window
correct.
down.
I told my brother
For the first half.
If it goes through, just get out as fast as you can.
I just keep my hand like right by the handle and I'm ready. Never know.
I just look at my trusty float jacket.
No, actually, I was with some my first year in Minnesota. I was with some friends and we went out driving, and then they're like, "Well, let's go fish." I'm like, "All right, let's go fish." No clue what we're doing, no clue where we're at. So then we're driving, and then we get down. I still don't know where I'm at, and then here we're in Doughty, and I told my friend, "Hey, where are we?" And he's like, "We're in Doughty." And I'm like, "Well, where's the lake?" And they start laughing. And I'm like, "Well, whatever." So then they start drilling the holes, and then I see them come out with the water. Then I'm like, "Dude, really, where are we?" And he's like, "We're on the lake." I says, "What do you mean we're on the lake?" He's like, "We're on the lake."
Yeah.
And then I turn and I can see the tree. They used to have the swing. And I'm looking at that swing, and it's moving, bro. Like it's.
Yeah.
And I turn to my left, and I can see the dock that's been already pulled out of the water. I can see it on the on the side of the bank there. And I just froze, bro. And then I just started walking toward the shore really slow, dude. And then when I got to the shore, I started telling them, what the hell are you guys doing? And then I finally after I I don't know, I guess I calmed down. I because I did get scared. I never, I didn't.
Yeah.
I turned and looked, and then you can see all the ice houses
everywhere.
Didn't realize when we were driving out there because we were busy talking, and then I headed back out there, and then I was like, cool. Then I was like, and then they caught a bass, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh. So then, so I'm over here with my 5'7" rod, and and they're like, "No, bro, here," and they give me a dead stick, and I was like, "Oh," I'm right there jigging, and I'm like, with a kid rod in my mind, I'm thinking, "What a kid rod!" And then after that, I remember I told my dad about it, and he's like, "Yeah, you can ice fish out here." And then he said, "Remember that movie, Grumpy Old Men?" And I says, "Yeah." I says, "Remember when you were telling me why they're fishing in the houses?" And I was like, "Yeah, it makes sense now." Even when I watched that movie, I didn't know they were on the lake
It
frozen.
all came together at that moment.
So should I ask now? Everybody, raise your hand if you watch that movie at least once a year.
I haven't seen it in years. I bet
Every year I watch it on Thanksgiving.
I need to watch it again. I missed that
And
movie.
last year we
So
played
good.
it here almost every hour.
You sell duck rods here?
We did.
Did you?
That's what we started selling them. Yeah,
Oh,
we get
that's
them from where they made the
They're-
wobble shop.
There
Yeah.
is actually
We
a
get 'em from there.
That's
grumpier
sweet.
old men tournament up north.
Is that on Rebecca?
I'm not sure where it is, but I think it would be fun to go fish.
Mhm.
I'm
'Cause
not
that's
even
where
gonna
they
lie.
that's where they recorded the movie, right? Rebecca Lake was what I was told.
I think
Is that right?
it is. It's somewhere
I
in
don't
that
know.
area.
Somebody told me. Well, the guy that sells me those rods told me that some of the movie was actually they recorded here in Minneapolis.
on Calhoun.
Calhoun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know when you watch movies. No idea.
So majority was at
No.
Calhoun because it was closer for them. But all the shots, like when they went to the bar, all that was there. But everything else was here locally.
So when I first watched that movie back when it first came out, where I'm from, we don't have walleye, so I never knew what the hell it was. And when I saw it, I'm like, "What the hell is that?
Oh, dude!
You're on a lake? Is that a you know what I mean?"
Right.
And so then I saw that and a walleye, and I'm like, "There's no way I'm going to pull that walleye out."
See that scar right there?
Yeah.
First pike.
You mouthed it?
Absolutely. Then I
Holy
have no
cow.
clue what the hell it was.
Oh Lord.
You got it up out of the hole.
When
quick.
I got here in August, growing up in El Paso, all we fish irrigation ditches in the river. That's all we had.
Yeah.
Every now and then we can go to Elephant Butte, which is 2 hours away. But we always watched Bill dance on Sunday. Always.
Yeah.
It was like
Ritual.
just a ritual. You had to watch them.
Yeah.
So when we came
Yeah.
here, my dad said, let's go fishing. He says, it's going to be a couple hours away. I'm like, okay. So it's me, my wife, my kid, my mom, and my dad, and we're riding, and then we're at a lake. 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we're no doubt. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell, dude? What am I doing in Texas, bro? Right? And then he took me to Tho. And so I go off the not the dock, but I go off the boat landing, and I'm casting this spoon, and it just hit it, boom, and I'm bringing it in, and there's this pike. It's probably 2 feet, not very big. And what do? I reach down and grab it. Never seen one in my life.
Just lipped it.
And I'm like, Dad, and I go, hey, Dad! And as soon as I went like that, my dad was about to like it was like no, and as soon as I did that, I just felt it, and I was like, oh! So I let it go like that, and it just went.
Just strip
They're
this.
so
skin.
sharp.
Razor
Yeah,
teeth.
they
too.
are. They're bad.
For the next, I'm not kidding you.
And when you put your finger in the gill of those and you pull back, you
Oh,
get
yeah.
sliced up
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I
I've
can't
had them
imagine.
cut me open.
I didn't do that, but I saw my friend do that, so I learned that way. That's how we learn, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But anyways, for the next 5-6 years, not kidding you, every time I caught a pike, it didn't matter how much the lure cost me. I would just cut the line. I wouldn't deal with them.
Oh.
That's how scared I got from them. I never seen one in my life. Somebody would catch one, and I would stay from here to the door away from them. I'd be like,
Keep that
Nice fish.
piranha, that extended piranha away from me.
and so until I caught one in the tip up. Then that's when I was like,
Yeah.
This was my first pike in tip up. That was a pretty decent one, and it was right there in Thole. And when I got that one and I held it, I was like, whoa. And then after that, I started targeting them.
Yeah.
But then that just went away. But I'm not kidding you, for 5 years. And it didn't matter what lure I had.
Thing. No. So what do you guys think some of the biggest pike are in the state anyway? What are your thoughts on that?
They just cut the record, right?
Muskie.
Well,
No, it was a
catch and release
muskie.
record? No, but
That
it's-
was what 57 and
Huge.
3/4.
64 pounds,
the
right?
recent
I
one.
don't know.
Are we
Yeah,
talking the
just
one
another
that-
they just
Moax.
just
I
broke
know.
one.
No,
Yeah.
but the one wasn't there one that we talked about in one of the podcasts that was a pike? That was catch and
Yeah,
release?
I can't remember.
There's
what it
upper
was.
40-inch
one.
pike in Minnesota.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's
Oh yeah.
close to 50s.
Close to 50, maybe.
Was it Depot Lake?
You
Or
remember that
Gifford?
one I caught, right? That muskie I
I'm
caught.
talking northern Minnesota.
Yeah, but Gifford Lake.
Yeah.
There used to
Gifford?
be some nice ones in there. I mean,
there's still nice pike in some of those backwaters. I've got some pretty
Yeah.
big ones.
But I mean, the depot you can go and you can catch 6-7 of them in a day. I mean,
Yeah.
just a couple hours you'll be out there, you catch 6-7 of them.
People catch muskie in there too.
I've caught a muskie.
Yeah.
I saw a guy catch a tiger muskie once in there.
Yep. That's
I
what
thought
they
that was
want.
weird.
That would be cool.
There's no pierce strains in there. I think they're all pretty much tigers that you find in there, but it's sweet nonetheless.
Yeah.
Catching a muskie in a backwater river. They're in Sand Creek and in the off the Minnesota River too. Watch people catch them below the falls in Jordan. People catch muskie down there too.
Yeah, one of my friends that moved to Michigan, he used to catch them a lot.
That was my biggest fish here I've caught. Is a 52 and 3/4 inch muskie out of
Nice.
Waconia.
Great
On the
muskie.
spoon, right? We were just
Yeah.
talking about the other day
Waconia.
at night.
Yeah, at night
Yeah,
on a
that's
spoon.
cool.
I had a fat head and a
That's
spoon.
awesome.
And I was trolling. I was with a buddy of mine who's a biologist, and he's like, I don't understand it. He goes, that's not normal.
No,
I
it's
said,
not.
That's weird.
I was like, man, it took me like 40 minutes to get it in. I mean, you could just hear it slapping off the. But I had it. He had it swallowed right down to his other area.
Yeah, we were trolling Minnetonka at night in the fall, and my buddy got a 48 trolling a rapala, just a little tiny walleye rapala. He got a muskie in the middle of the night. I mean, I muskie fish at night, full moons especially. Was it a full moon?
You know, I think it wasn't, but it was
Really
maybe
close?
a 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bright because we didn't have to have with these green lights on the side.
Yeah,
of
there's
the
a
boat.
lot of muskie guys that night fish for full moons. I mean,
Really?
it's a thing. Oh yeah,
How many have you guys caught muskies?
Just one.
maybe 10.
Yeah.
I've caught all tigers though. I haven't caught a pier. No, I might have caught a pier strain, a Leech Lake strain. I'm not sure. I'd have to look, but
Is that good fishing, Leech Lake?
it's amazing.
Is it? Yeah, I've heard.
Hell of a
good things.
fishery.
Yeah.
Speaking of where, if you're, what we talked about before, that'd be an amazing spot.
Spot.
There's so much structure and fish out there. It's incredible.
Ridiculous.
I've only caught one, and that was out of the ice. Weirdly, Dad's like, take it. I'm like, no, dude, you caught it. I reel it up, and it's just a big tiger muskie. I was
Mhm.
like, that's the first one.
My first one was in Lake Ann in Chanhassen. My first guy here.
My first one was what's the lake over by prior
Spring?
Lakeville.
Oh,
Calls.
It's a small lake. It has a big weed bed island on there. Not an island, but it's called it's right by Gander Mountain.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Well, that's where I caught
Orchard.
Orchard. That's where I got my first tiger.
I have heard.
And then I
Orchard's good.
started learning how to fall fish with suckers, and we caught 6 over 42 in one day.
I remember
I love
Good
fishing
catching.
suckers.
like in the
So easy.
2005, 6, 7. You go to Lake Ann and everybody would be out there with these large suckers targeting these pike.
There's a lot of
Right.
purists, muskie
Not muskie,
fishermen
but
that despise sucker fishing for muskie. There's a lot of purists, guys that only want to throw hard tackle at them. They think you're cheating if you throw. There's guys that do that for like the world record bass guys. They get a lot of flack for throwing those big shiners at those bass. Like the hardcore bass guys say that ain't legit. You're just using live bait. There's some truth to that, but there's because you're not finessing the bait, you're not producing the motion.
You know,
I understand it, but
Maybe.
you're still catching it. To me, I mean,
Yeah.
That's the way I'm.
Catch is a catch.
I'm not a
Yeah.
light bait guy. I'm not a light bait guy. I want to trick them. I want to trigger that. I'm not a light bait guy. I mean,
Yeah.
my brother is. My brother is.
I'm a
but
huge. In the summertime, no. I'm a
to
lure
me, they
guy, but
have a time and a place, but I don't know. I throw a lot more artificial than
I love
than
artificial.
live, hands down, any day of the week.
In the
Just-
winter, I you guys probably already know, but it's the delicacy for ice fishing, them shiners. It's it's interesting because it really does depend on where you fish and what size shiner you're using. You know, at Thole, I've put big shiners on and caught 0.
Yeah.
I'll throw a little medium shiner on there and slay them all day.
Mhm.
Some days they want different presentations, so
Yeah.
they want that bigger
Yeah.
profile or a smaller profile.
Faster
It just-
action.
Yep.
Different times of the year. I mean, today my buddy's like, I'm going to catch a walleye on a plastic. I was like, dude, it's a little late to throw plastics. You'll catch them on plastics, but you got to be doing it just right. I'm not going to explain the exact process. It's long, but there's times and places where you want to still run plastics, even during the winter for a while on the river,
Yeah.
specifically on the river. And I'm not talking ice fishing. When the water's sub 30, sub 32. I mean, when you're pitching and pulling, it's a little tougher, especially in the Minnesota River, to catch those walleye on those plastics. I mean, he tried to do it he's a professional. He fishes the MWT, so
Yeah.
I mean, professional walleye fisherman. And he could not get one on the plastic. And I was like, just go to live bait, because we were just shit. He finally gave in, but he kept going back to the plastic and he never got one on it. But like plastics kick in the spring, all I throw is plastics.
Yeah, we had a guy that come in and he wanted to fish with Lindy rigs, and he said, which one's the best plastic worm? And I'm like, you gonna use it on the Lindy rig? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you want to use real night crawlers? And it's a crawler. And he's like, no.
That's interesting.
So I was like, all right, do you want to use the best worm that I know of, that I've used since I was little, is the cream worm, the natural worm. Get your natural
You
color.
know what? Here's a secret. This one's free. All my friends laugh at me. Not all my friends. Specifically my buddy that fishes professional walleye tournaments. He laughs at me every time I tell him. He's like, because some of those guys pull Lindies in tournaments. Not all of them, but some of them do. And I was like, dude, when you're ever in a bind, find a leopard frog, put it on your Lindy for walleye. He's like, no. I said, dude, I've had some of the best walleye fishing in my life pulling frogs behind Lindies. People don't believe it, but until you try it. That one was free.
Actually, I make a soft plastic frog. You got to rig it a certain way because you got to make sure that it's digging into the mud, or that it's going downward.
You gotta have the right cadence.
it's
Got to drop right.
It's got to
Create the right cloud coming off. Everything.
they'll want to ambush it. They'll follow it around, and if it's just a frog, you're just swimming it. They'll hit it, I guess, but you want to trigger that strike. Have one of our field staffers out there the other day with frogs.
I got a question. I gotta know something about Minnesota. What is it that people don't? Because there's a lot of people that don't like bass fishing here. What is the?
Because
Because
for
it's
one,
not a walleye.
It's not a walleye. Yeah, that's the one reason. The other
There's
one
also
is
a lot
it's
of
considered the easiest fish to catch.
Yeah.
But get in a tournament and then
That's right.
get in a tournament and catch 5 and then tell me.
That's right.
Right.
Put some
Right.
put some money down on the table and
Correct,
then
yeah.
use all
along with that
artificial
$85,000
baits.
boat you got there?
Yeah, I always say I like to fish for bass when the flathead are spawning because they're the easiest fish to catch. Which just to catch a bass is not hard, but to catch big bass, that's a whole nother ball game. And
Yep.
that's
Yeah, remember we talked about that. Remember?
We did. Yeah. I mean,
I'm throwing out those 12-inch swim baits that we make. And people think, why are you pike fishing, musky fishing? No.
this portion is sponsored by Stoked Baits.
So we're casting that out there, and people think that I'm fishing. I'm fishing. You know, they come at me with, what's your dad's favorite lure? Remember that one from Mega Bass? That was like his favorite.
Oh,
3/8, whatever. It's from Mega Bass.
Mega Bass is it a rip and wrap?
No, it's
Type
Mega
of-
Bass. It's a soft plastic. Remember?
Hmm.
Oh,
No clue.
oh yeah, he was looking for. Yeah, I can't figure it out. But yeah, I know what you're talking
It's
about.
like a little. It's like a swim. It's a swim bait, and they make them between 2.5 to 3 inches, maybe 4 inches.
Mhm.
Oh,
It has his name.
it's a type of fish, right? It's a little guy. It's
Tommy
Nothing
cod?
to him, dude. I mean,
Tommy
they're
cod?
so they're like there's so many of them out there
Yeah.
now. I mean, China is like banking on that lure because they're making them exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called, dude? It'll come to us
It
later.
looks
I
like
don't
a
know.
Did you say it looks like a shiner?
Well, you know, it's a cool design. I mean, the fish it hides the hook in the top fin. It kind of like the Cascade and all those big
Yeah.
time swim baits. It has that same.
Hmm.
The In the fin area.
Design.
In the fin area. Is it?
Let's think about it and talk.
You look
about
a lot
it.
more alive on this episode.
Yeah, last
You
episode.
know what I'm talking about?
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There it is, right there.
Right there.
Sleeper.
Dark sleeper. Those are.
Oh.
Show Luke the picture.
Those
We'll
are.
put it out there.
That's Smalley heaven.
Can I see it, please?
Yeah, if it would want to
Oh,
load.
I love me some smallies. You got a lot of smallies out there in the Boston area,
Oh, yeah.
Maine? Yeah.
lot of
Smallies
small.
Oh, I
are-
know you have them in Maine,
Or
actually.
fun.
That's a me gusto
Oh,
mucho.
yeah.
I swear, this one thing that sucks about them, they're worth a lot. Once the Smallies hit a bunch of times, they're just broken because it's trying to cover the hook, but then the hook
Yeah,
doesn't.
you can
Doesn't
see,
stay in place.
you can see how the hook hides.
It's like a Kitech. They
On
don't
the-
last. Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
Okay. You guys see that right
Yeah,
there?
That is cool.
That's
Man.
exactly how I bait all of my bait in the wintertime. I learned this from an 80-year-old man. And the reason why is because when they take that fish in, because a lot of times they go for the head, right? So when they take it in, they have to spit that thing directly out center. Because if it catches on any 360, so my loss of fish tip ups, because I don't get wind tip ups. I have those jack traps. If you haven't seen them or heard of them, but jacktraps.com, if you get a chance, check it out. It's like $80 for a trap, but it'll last you. I mean, I've had mine for 6-7 years, and it still looks like it just came out of the package. Real fine wood, just real great construction. But yeah, literally, that's. I mean that. Yeah. I mean, baiting them that way, my loss of catching fish through the ice is almost zero. So between that and he told me always fish off a point because there's some type of bar coming off there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just set your bait up, you set your trap, your tip ups over that spot. Those are my two claim to fames as far as, humility and learning and being teachable. And I just, I tell as many people as I can that, because some people, I'm going to catch them fish, I'm losing them all. Yeah, it's because you just
I think
don't.
that's a good thing to think about, but then someone else will tell you the same different thing.
Yeah.
You just got to test it yourself. Whatever you have most confidence in,
Yeah.
I'll take any information I can get.
Yep.
For
Like
real.
it's just you got to implement it and then figure out what you like and what works for you. I mean, if you got confidence doing it, you'll probably do good with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the dark sleeper,
Yeah, dark sleepers. They're so small,
they're so
but
popular.
they're so good. They work so much.
We were gonna bring them in. Didn't have anything in stock. Mega bass is. I mean, we're lucky we got an account with them, but
I see you got my tube jigs
Yeah,
I
it was
spent
hard.
fish smallies with.
gets it.
Yeah, that's what I use for smallies.
Number one. That's what I always use.
Gets it.
See, that's another thing.
They're
So,
so good.
those willow cats. Everybody, I tell a lot of walleye guys, and I know that they've been successful with them because they come back from work. But the baby blue eyes from Gets It, they look like little. They think they're little catfish. They're really a willow cat.
They're stone cats and willow
Stone
cats.
cats, yeah.
So they're two different species. Mad Tom is also a name for the stone cat.
Stone cat.
So yeah, they are their own catfish. They're a species of catfish. We have a couple of species in Minnesota. So great
Yeah.
walleye bait. A lot of tournament guys that fish rivers for walleye use them as bait.
We can't get them though. The only supplier we can find is in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's tough to get those.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was when I first got one of my. When I started catfishing on the Red River up in Grand Forks. I had never seen one. I was like, "What is this thing?" I was like, "Is it a bullhead or?" And I'm looking at the extended adipose and like the anal fin and everything looks so weird on it. And I was like,
Mhm.
and then he's like, "Oh, that's a mad tom, or a stone cat." There's willow. There's different. I forget how it all works, but they're all practically the same
Yeah.
thing.
But that lure is really to mimic that cat. But
Yeah.
people think it's a little channel cat or just a catfish, but it's not.
Looks like a goby almost.
Yep.
Yeah, when I went to Wisconsin, I forgot what beach up it was. Somewhere near there by Wisconsin Dells, and they had a tank full of them. And I was looking at them, and I wanted to put my hand in there, and it's like, no. One of those gets you. You're gonna be hurting. I was like, and then that's when he explained it to me. But then later on, when I was looking at that lure, when we were looking into getting the Get Set account, we were looking at that lure, and I told me I used to buy that all the time on Kmart. They were always like $1.90 or something. They were real cheap, and they last forever. Used to always get bass on those. And then when I started doing my research, I found out that It's supposed to mimic that
You ever see DOA baits?
Yeah.
They look
No.
so generic and stupid, but they work so good. Saltwater stuff.
that
it's
shrimp
so
that he
crazy.
made, did on plastic. I mean, did on what is it?
DOA,
Yeah, but
shrimp.
what is it? What's it stand for?
Dead on arrival.
Dead on arrival.
Is that what it
I
stands
think it's dead on arrival.
I don't know if that's what they want it to stand for, but that's all I know.
I
DOA
think
is.
it's yeah.
Yep.
So he made this shrimp. He carved the shrimp out of a piece of wood, and then that's the most, I guess, copied shrimp in in the whole world.
Isn't that crazy,
Yeah.
I mean, he went to like multi-packs and stuff to compete.
dude? It looks so basic, and like people crush redfish on them, and down in Texas and
yeah.
Florida, it's crazy.
And they start using him for bass.
Yeah.
They start using him for bass too. Bass,
That's
you
nuts.
know, Carolina rig. I mean,
Just simple.
he says you can rate this however you want. He says we designed it away, but we found out that whoever wants to use him is going to rig him the way they want. But
Yeah.
that is the most copied shrimp.
Huh. That's wild.
Yeah. And then he also has another one that's, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a, I don't know if it's like a zero gravity, but it's like a minnow looking.
Banjo minnow.
No. I was not listening. Like, who are these guys from Minnesota talking about my shit? No, it's I forgot what it's called, but I remember buying that when I went to Florida. I bought a pack of them at the Bass Pro Shops, and because I just liked the way it looked. And then I also bought this minnow. I forget that one's called too, but that one's made by Cream. It's a minnow, and I just love the design. So it's weighted down by the eyes. So the eyes are lead. You stick them in there. That's what weights it. That's a treble hook, and in the tail, it has like a little. It's so the body's here, then it got like a little flap like this. When the water hits that flap, that's what makes it swim. Best design, dude. I love the word design. But I saw that and I bought one, and we were we were renting a house as my brother was gonna get married. We were down there in Florida, and I just spent I bought a rod just to fish it in the pool. I just had to see the way it worked. And then
When did you start making plastics?
2003.
Stoke baits.
2004. Yeah.
You know, up where I'm from, we tried something one time. We took a beer cap and put a little tiny hole. My buddy took his thing and lit it up, and it just burned up just a tiny hole through it. And we took a hook, right? And it did it so it dangled at the top up near the eye. It just dangled and made a noise. And that's all we did. We sent that down and just went a few times.
Yep.
And
What was it?
Pike.
Yeah, you guys have seen Aaron Weeb, Uncut Angling's videos. He took his YouTube plaque, his 100,000 subscriber plaque, took the chrome play button out of it from YouTube, out of his plaque, out of his frame, put double treble hooks on it, put a ring on it, and got a giant pike on it. And then he made a fidget spinner.
Fidget spinner.
Yeah, I
And then
remember
he
that
cut
one.
A huge chunk of his hair out and tied it on as the hair on his jig and cut a fish on it. He's
Yeah.
nuts.
My nephew wanted us. My nephew wanted me to make that with him. That spin, and then I said, "Where are we gonna get the hair? You don't got long hair. I don't got long hair." And then we both looked at my sister-in-law. That was his mom. So you gotta get her when she's asleep.
Do you do? Can you do wires through baits too with trebles? I got something I want to give you to make a bait out of, and then I want to make a video on it. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want anyone to steal the idea.
Okay.
But it'd be hilarious. And it'd
Yeah.
probably work for pike.
Hey, when I started with wood lures, all the wood lures I would make were going to New Jersey, all the East Coast, for stripers.
Oh yeah, striper fishing is big.
Yeah.
Big. Let me tell you guys a quick little story, and I'll never see it again in my life. It's one of those, and maybe you guys have had moments like this where it's like National Geographic, and you'll never see it again. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I was coming down over there, and it was on a river called Kennebec River. It was up in Maine, and it goes out into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and so a lot of times you have stripers coming up in there, and they're chasing those Tommy cods. Okay, and it's their big. Now we're coming down over because up where I'm from, sturgeon. If you got to cut the line, you can't even bring them up on the water. You have to cut the line right there.
Atlantic sturgeon, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so we're coming down over this, down over a path. It comes out under the cement pillar, It's an old boating dock or whatever. And you come down over, and eventually it clears, and you can see. And so I'm in front of him, he's behind me, and we're coming down over, and all of a sudden we just see gazillions of little on the top of the water, and we look up, and there's a couple of eagles flying around, and then all of a sudden the whole river, like as far as we could see, the whole river, just the water just went, it rose, right? And anywhere between 80 to 150 sturgeon from 8 to 12 feet long come up out of the water at the same time. Same time.
Amazing.
Chase, they came up and just took as many Tommy cods as they could get. But here's the wicked part: is when they landed, the water, like we had to get off the cement pad because the water came right up over it. So we had to get off. We just barely stepped on it when we saw all this go down.
So those Atlantics that you saw were actually feeding on the bait?
Yep, on the Tommy.
Because ours
cods.
porpoise here, but they're not feeding.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
like white sturgeon do the same thing. They porpoise, but they're not eating. They are seen sometimes up on dams, on the side of a dam, sucking up the algae and whatever. But it's interesting if it's all bait and they all came up at the same time.
At the same time, it was weird
It's
because
very interesting.
we looked at each other like, "What the hell's going on here?" Kind of, and just the fact that the whole, it's such a big body of water because it's not a small river. It's probably a good 2,000 yards across. It's quite a distance. So to see all that water just come up and just,
I bet you that was incredible.
we both just turned around and looked at each other and we're like,
So so now think about this. Their mouth, they have a sucker mouth below. Do you think how do you think they were feeding like that?
I wouldn't know today because we didn't fish I just fish for stripers or blues. You could further way down.
They're a mysterious fish, even to biologists. Yeah. Sturgeon are. Even in here and in North America, all of North America, they don't. Their information on sturgeon. There's information, but why they do certain things, they don't know.
Yeah, behaviors.
It's cool. We watch them on camera in the winter, and they're just so strange.
Me and a buddy went down. He had a 44-foot four winds, big double decker, and we're heading down to go out into the ocean, and that's all you see is these 8 to 12 footers just going, almost like a dolphin falling on a boat. You know what I mean, or being ahead of it. It's kind of weird.
That would be
they're
cool.
interesting.
I talked to a lot of guys that are afraid of sturgeons, and
afraid of them?
Yeah, I saw.
They're so cool.
I don't remember, it was River Monsters when they showed that episode where they jump out of the water and kill somebody, or they killed someone, or
in a boat. If people are going in a boat, that's you have that same risk on the Missouri River with Asian carp.
Yep.
Or silver. I shouldn't say Asian carp. That's not politically correct anymore. But silver carp, that species of carp. But yeah, they hit people and knock them out. If you're by yourself, even in the Missouri, that's a big fear. I've been hit in the face by an Asian carp. Silver carp. Luckily, we were going slow. And I don't mean it with disrespect when I say that, but they are the Asian carp family. I don't know if it's actually genus or family or species, but whatever. But they separate them now. They have the Asian carp family with silvers, big heads, and grass carp.
Yeah, can you imagine running and just getting smacked?
And
I got smacked in the head by that creek shell when I was sitting next to the tank. That sucker smacked me on the side of the head. That hurt, dude.
Dude,
imagine going down.
I was talking to, I don't know if you were with me. I think you were by me at the convention, but I was talking to the guys that are selling those the silver carp as bait.
Yeah,
I did a recent video on my YouTube. If you want to check it out, Fish on Luke on YouTube. It's a new preserved bait. They're using these silver carp and these big head carp that are millions of them in these rivers, and they're actually cutting them, preserving them, putting them in different juices and natural, and then bagging them, and they have an infinite shelf life that you can just throw a bag in your boat and you'll have cut bait. And I was talking to him about how when I was in the Missouri River for the first time, we were down just north of Kansas City, and we were doing a little catfishing before we went to Texas to film an alligator gar show. And we went up this little creek. and we knew there was those silvers were everywhere, leaping and jumping. Anytime you go behind a wing dike where there's no current, and you rev up the motor, there's 300 fish in the air, just high out of the water. And we went up this creek, and we're like, all right, there's a lot of fish in here. You can see the boils and the waves from the fish. We rev that motor up. I bet you 200 fish jumped on the bank instantly, just on the bank. They're just all on the bank. They're just flopping around. We're not going to pick them up because they're invasive, so I mean, we can just let them lay there. But it was crazy. It's unreal. And then you see those guys going behind boats with tennis rackets and bats with nails in it.
Yeah. I saw the video. With the football helmet on.
Dude, you need to wear a helmet. I mean, they get those big heads get huge.
Yeah.
My favorite
Yeah.
was where they're just on the back with the
Shooting
shotgun.
them. Yeah.
Like
They're a big. And they're here now.
Yeah. We talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
The Minnesota has found big head now, and then silvers in the St. Croix. So it's there's probably more, but they're not. They have no evidence that they're breeding and producing big numbers, but that's going to obviously change over time. I mean, there's no stopping them.
And I'll tell you what, that bait that we're talking about, I smelled it fresh.
Dark water premium baits.
That's good.
Fresh.
They're
Yeah.
backed by one of the best tournament catfish anglers in the world. I mean, in North America, John Jameson. He's a super good dude, and man, that boy's won some trophies. Just say that. But yeah, he even said he's like he wouldn't take it. He probably wouldn't take it over live bait, and he told me straight up, he's like, "Is it can outfish live bait? No, but when you want something different or you don't have bait, it's there, and you can just literally keep the bag open and throw it in the side of your boat, and it's ready to go when you need it. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
And it
It's gonna-
smells fresh.
Yeah, it smells like fresh fish.
It does not.
That's pretty wild.
It's
It
crazy.
It doesn't smell like the normal.
Not like brine. Like,
Yeah, no.
Dude, I got so excited. I took,
Formaldehyde. It does not smell.
I got so excited, because I went up to the table and he opened it and smelled it, and then I was, waiting. I think Luke was around the corner talking to somebody, and then when we got back together, I told dude, I'm gonna bring that bait to the shop, and he's like, you can't.
Nope.
I was like, damn, I forgot Asian carp.
It's illegal.
Oh,
Don't say
silver
that.
carp, big head carp. What is it?
You're a
What is it?
minority. You can say it.
Yeah. Surprised they don't have a Mexican carp, bro. Which is the Mexican carp, the one that goes arriba. Oh Lord, Ahua! That's a Mexican carp.
Jumps out of the water and says, "Hey, pendejo."
Hey, pendejos!
Or Modelo.
That's Scotty's favorite say.
I like that.
Oh, I was gonna say we're missing one. I forgot. Spencer took it.
Here, kitty.
I got him a nice one. Oh man! So when do you think you're gonna be on an ice then?
Jeez, I'm shooting
Around
for
Christmas, maybe.
I'm shooting for that
Oh.
last week, but the last time I went, and Wasserman's just across the river, so you're not looking at too far distance.
Yeah.
It was almost the second week in January. Here's the problem: is that I have 7 units, so I either put them out like a 6-pack, or I put them out like a hook, like we talked about. And you guys know where Thole is, so that backside of that island,
Yeah.
it's either making a hook coming around like this, or just doing a 6-pack. I got to kind of keep it almost segregated, really. You know what I mean? Because snowmobiles and different people, I got stop signs and different things. Everything, it's all lit up, and it'll be all lit up all night long. I just bought like $1 zillion worth of lights, so all solar. So literally, it'll be bright as can be out there, even brighter than it was on Wasserman. But that's the goal, is to get them out there. The cool part is that they're all stored in Marystown. So there's literally 1 road, 2 road there. So it's just super close.
Nice.
Easy peasy. And I just bought a 13,000 pound winch. So that should haul them right up for me easy. I got, they're probably about 12 to 1,300 pounds a piece.
Are those skid houses then, or
They are skid houses, except because I didn't have the right winch system the first year, hauling them off the truck to put them in storage, I broke some of the bottom ski because I didn't do a 4x4 ski. I just did a 2x6 or a 2x8. So it was too much weight for that amount of wood. So what I'm going to do is my buddy's got a skid steer and he's got the forks that go, the extended forks. So he's going to go up under it and lift it up. I'm just going to go with a Sawzall, zip, zip. And then just slide them right up on the, and then put them on 4x4s out on the ice, 2 4x4s, and strap them down. Of course, the old way of strapping them, right? Wood down through with a rope going to the eye hook. So that's how I did it out on Washington, and it handled great winds. But that's the goal. The goal is to get it out just after Christmas. It's a 2-day event, getting them out there, setting it up.
People come out to your houses. You supply the rods and stuff?
I got jig poles. I got 50 something.
And with the fee, with the nominal fee that you charge, which isn't very much.
Yeah.
They get bait too.
Yeah, they get free fatheads.
You guys, if you're watching this and you want to get your kid ice fishing, you need to talk to Ron.
Yeah, come on out, man. It's fishtheicezone.com. We're excited to get it going this year. I'm also going to be looking for that part-time, person that wants to come out for a day here and there. So even anybody in this podcast, if anybody knows any kid that's 16, 17, responsible, non-troubled, that kind of good.
Responsible, that's tougher to find, but
especially in the fishing world.
Right.
No, but yeah, so that's the goal. That's the goal.
I'll have to come out.
Yeah, listen, guys, it's a unique experience. I built it, but I didn't really know the uniqueness of it until it was fully built and out there. And then I looked at it and went, I did this. It took me a summer to build them all. I had had a builder who was building them with me, and I had to go over some work, so it took me a little longer to get some stuff done there. But you know what? Chewy, you were behind me the whole way. I had a great first season out there. I think I did $7,000 in 5 weeks.
Nice.
I got a lot of people fishing. I work with Finn. Mario's a friend of mine, the DNR. He's a friend of mine. We're going to do something with Shakopee High School, I believe, again this year.
So Finn is fishing in the neighborhood then?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. With Mario, and Mario's, he's got a buddy that works with him, but I just say Mario. It's easy. It's like Mario Brothers. But Trevino, Mario Trevino, he's really a good guy. He's been with Finn for a while. The goal is to be out there by the end of December. Hopefully we get, some people pray for warmth and I pray for ice.
Yep.
I'm usually ice fishing around here right now.
I know.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, Scotty posted memory, November 17th. You were already on the ice last year?
Yeah.
There's a lot of slush balls on the river today. I mean, it's getting close. Water temp was 30.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's freezing soon. I mean, it's moving water. Otherwise, it'd already be frozen. But, yeah, it was.
Problem is you still got open spots where the wind's been swirling it. And,
Well, you remember that one day last week?
yeah.
Because I go to Thole 2 or 3 times a week just to check, just to see what's going on out there.
That's why I am on all these lakes.
It literally was patches. You know what I mean? Because that wind was just pushing any patch right to the shoreline.
Yep.
So there really wasn't much really going on over there. But we can just, maybe we can, maybe I can have a good dream one night and think up this ice freezing system that'll freeze up ponds or something.
Yeah.
I don't
You got to
know.
pray for no wind.
Yeah.
My parents' lake is locked. It's been locked for over a week now. I mean, it ain't on now.
Whereabouts is that at?
But it's just south of Bemidji.
Oh, yeah, up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already, we already have ice
Yeah.
on, and I'm just ready to go out there. Friends want me to go ice skating. I was like, I want to go ice fishing.
Ice
I-
skating.
Oh, dude, ice skating on a lake when there's no snow on it is amazing. Especially when it's thin because it goes. When you're skating on it. It's great.
Yeah, getting goosebumps.
You ever
already.
seen that video online?
Yeah, the way it's going like this?
No, there's
no.
a guy in a mountain lake and it's crystal clear
Yes.
and there's no snow and he's skating. He goes doo 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 as he's skating. It is so sick. You've seen it,
Yeah.
right?
It's like
epic.
it's like a drone shot of him. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
It's just
Timing was great.
oh,
Everything
the
was.
sound is just incredible.
Good times.
And there's that other video of that dude that's making the sound and then he goes through.
There's a difference, and you'll learn that when if you're a risky ice fisherman. I don't get too crazy. There's the good sounds that ice make and the bad sounds, and you got to figure out which one's the good one. When you're out on a really sunny day one time at the end of the winter, when the ice starts getting honeycomb, that's the bad ice for you guys that don't ice fish. It gets real chippy, like honeycomb. Scott knows exactly.
It's
It
just
makes
hollow.
a different noise.
Yeah.
We're going out noise. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I tell people, and they're really, I'm like, yeah, the first thing to freeze is the shoreline, and the first thing to go out.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Get out in
true.
the middle. If you can get out far enough, you're good to go. But
Mhm.
You wanna throw a hook out and just haul me back in with
I
this
know guys
iceberg
that
I'm standing on?
stretch ladders and
Yeah.
they go to
Oh, yeah.
some extremes.
Bridges up on Cascade, they put like wood bridges from shore because
That's
it
awesome.
freezes or it thaws weird, and then it gets super slushy. Last year when I was out in Idaho fishing, there was so much slush, but we caught some giants.
You know, some of the best trout fishing I ever did was when it was snowing. I
Yeah,
don't know what it was, but just something about it. Every time that I went brown trout fishing on this one pond up where I'm from, every time it snowed, and if it didn't snow, you may be lucky to catch one. But
Yeah.
every time it snowed, you go out there, bam, slam.
you like Cascade because a lot of rainbows in there, big ones, big rainbows, like up to 10 pounds. Not
Oh.
super giants, but not steelhead size rainbows, but big rainbows.
Beauty.
Yeah.
I'd eat one.
What's that?
I said I would eat one.
Dude, they're way. I tell you what, you can catch them at the Courthouse Lake or
Yeah.
the one in the quarry in Shakopee, and then you eat one there and they taste just like trash. They're so bad.
Just came out of the raw
In
mill.
terms of trout eating, they're horrible. And then you go up to my parents and catch them from the super deep lakes up there that have trout. They're amazing. Then you go up to Idaho and we cooked like probably a 6-pound rainbow. Holy cow, that thing was amazing.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, so good eating.
Aren't you going?
I was trying to. I don't know what's up with that group right
Where
now.
to Idaho?
Yeah.
There's no fish there. Don't even do it. If anyone's watching, there's no perch in Idaho anymore.
Matter of fact, there ain't no fish there.
Limit's only 2 now. It's
Yeah.
We did a dragnet and got one.
There was a big winter kill last year. Don't know.
You're one of probably 10,000 people in Minnesota that want to go to Idaho.
Somebody pumped out the wrong pond.
No.
Scott, you got to just do it.
Well, I'm trying to plan it, and yeah, I don't know.
I want to do a Lake of the Woods trip with a bunch of guys.
It's fun.
Lake
Is
of
it?
the Woods is good.
Yeah, I've never been up there. So
No
I'm-
night fishing, but
I
garbage.
never
night
have
fishing.
either.
Yeah.
Been up there.
Never?
You been up there, Joe? No. We should plan something.
That's
Go up there
wonderful.
for a week.
My good friend that I fish with here has a cabin on Lake of the Woods, right at the Rainy. So
Oh.
right by the lake. He's got a 24-foot skid out there. He just got built last year. It's a Lumo. Oh, it's sick. It's
Illuminate.
huge. Huge. It's 24 by 10.
Wow,
It's awesome.
sounds awesome.
You know, you guys know those campers where they call them airstreams, whatever.
Yeah.
Stream. Where I'm from, they did a story. It was funny. They did a story on my business too at the same time, but this guy stayed out. He would shut his lights off at his house and all of this stuff, and and he lived on that lake for the whole season. And that's what they did. That was their claim to fame. So they were in the magazine and stuff. And to look at this Airstream, you'd be like, "That came from the Last Supper." What? You know what I mean? Like, because it's an older one, but the way that they remodeled the inside of that thing, I mean, it was just
People
gorgeous.
use those for ice fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People do some crazy inventive things for ice
I've
fishing.
seen porta potties,
Have you
like
seen-
everything.
What are those boats? That
I
go
saw
in
greenhouse ones.
Those boats that go in the bogs and stuff for the big 350
fan boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen them on the ice before.
Oh yeah, a lot of guys run those on the down by La Crosse, Wisconsin, on the Mississippi River backwaters. They either run hovercrafts or fan boats because you got to get over some water sometimes to get to the ice fishing spots.
Yeah.
So like Jacob and them, they take hovercrafts or fan boats out when they go like the perch fishing down
Yeah.
there. And it's safer. I
That's
mean,
super cool.
you can ice fish right out of the fan boat too, which is kind of cool if you want to.
Yeah.
Just
I saw this
drill a
guy
hole in the
dragging-
side.
It was like maybe 3 feet tall, maybe 8 inches wide. Yeah, like about 8 feet square, sorry, 8 feet square. And he dragged it out, and then he lifted. I don't know what he did. He just it lifted up. He popped out the sides.
A hub?
Yeah, and I was like,
You want to come
"Oh,
in
I mean,
mine?
it was it was made out of wood.
Oh man, a wood.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
he just popped it up.
Oh, the wood one that fold out and the side goes up. It's like a
The
box,
sides,
right?
It's like a box.
Ah,
yeah,
they're
and
they're
and
old
then,
school,
he
man.
popped them up.
Yeah.
I saw one of those on Carl's Pond last year. I was
Yeah.
like, what is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
saw
then
one of
he
those.
put a full size door in it.
That was the thing
with the
back in the
hinges.
day, dude. Like that
That
was
was
like
it.
the portable permanent house.
Yeah, but it was
Nice guy.
it was up vertically. It was up on its side, I guess, and he dragged it out, and then they laid it down, and then he got under it somehow, and then he just popped out the
I
sides.
think they're called box
Put
fish
pins.
houses. I'm
Have you
almost
seen
positive.
And
like the
it was
tilt ones?
it was out there on Thole for a while.
I have not.
There
Well,
was
the
a
one I saw looked like it just you would fit it right in the back of a truck.
Yeah, they brought it in the trunk. That's what got my attention.
Oh, that's how they
he had
do
it strapped. I mean, it was pretty high, but he had it strapped down, and they both got it down. So it mustn't have been that heavy. And then they dragged it out, and then they flipped it over, and then just popped it up, and then they
Started
installed the
fishing.
door. And I was like, "Whoa!" So I asked, hey, "Can I see her?" I was like, "Sure." And you can see the installation is just bare, just tipped in.
Yeah.
And then he had the flooring. I don't know what that was that they used for floor, but they had a bunch of circles cut out, I guess, for the auger.
Yeah, sure.
And I was like, and I told him, you leave it here? He's like, yeah. And I saw it in Thole for a lot of years, and then I haven't seen it since.
again. Yeah.
But I remember I saw a video. There was a video on YouTube of something similar to that. I'm gonna look for it. If I do, I'll put it on the podcast.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But that's what got me like, I can make that.
Yeah.
There were some
I can make
cool
that.
old school.
And then I saw another guy. This was just 2 cutouts. It looked like 4x8s, just rounded.
Yeah.
On both ends, and then just the flat. He dragged it out. It was just flat, and then he went inside somehow.
Wood ends with canvas, right?
Yeah.
What's so funny?
Then he went into the PVC pipe and he put it in the middle, and it's just a tarp.
Yeah, the canvas
Oh, what is that? What is
with the wood ends, right?
Yeah, with the wood
Yeah.
ends.
Oh, those are. I don't know what those are called, but I've seen them.
Have you seen that black hole? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
The black hole.
It's like a trailer.
Yeah. You just kind of that same theory where you pull it up and do this and whatever. Yeah, because I saw those and those look pretty neat.
They
Yeah,
are.
and he had 3 PVCs going across. I think he had 2 on top and then 2 on the sides,
Interesting.
and it was
There's a,
sturdy, dude.
Speaking of, this is kind of off topic, but it's about fish houses. We were up at. I was trying to film a show up there for Northwoods.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a guy at the bar, and he's like, "Yeah, we rent fish houses that are remote, which is not common up there. There's a couple people that do it, because up at Lake of the Woods, all those resorts in that specific area all move the houses together because they follow the bite, and they're pulling them with their things and moving them, shifting them. So this guy has remote houses on like sunken islands out in Lake of the Woods. So he's like, yeah, you can go out there and film and do whatever, and if you get a show, it'd be cool for a shout out. We ended up not getting a show because it was so hectic, but we went like 12 miles past the houses in a tracked vehicle, our own tracked vehicle, not his. And yeah, you go out there, you turn on the propane and start it, and you're all by yourself out in the lake in a rental. It's a cool thing. And we're right on an island out there. We're way out. There's no one out there.
That's awesome.
And,
No man's land.
and it's cool because you just go in, hit the button, turn on the propane, hit the button, and you just start fishing. It's insane.
Wild. It's like clap on, clap off.
But you got to have a little confidence to be going out there. I'm just saying. It's not for like, I want to get my kid ice fishing. We're going to go 12 miles out past everyone.
Well, it's like a buddy of mine last year. He went, Wayzata, right there at Minnetonka, in town Wayzata, and the guide rails and all where the lake is right there. He's out there fishing on like 1.5 feet overnight. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm not. He texted me and he goes, I'm just gonna stay out here. I'm not gonna try to go ashore tonight because you can't see. If you're safe, stay safe. If you just stay out there. And he called in the next day to work, and I'm like, you crazy fisherman.
I did a couple of years ago. I fished the outer island of the Apostle Islands on Lake Superior on the ice, 20 miles from shore on my snowmobile, through all the islands. Pretty scary.
Wow,
We were-
that does sound scary.
It was pretty sketchy. It was scary, but we were following tracks, and there was a guide that had been guiding out there, and we talked to one of his employees the night before we took him out for dinner. Met him for dinner and talked about like what we're gonna do, and he's like, "You're gonna be fishing like 200 feet." So we set up in 210 feet of water, and we had our transducer holes about 8 feet out, no, probably 6 feet outside the fish house because there's so much current out there. So we had to set the transducer.
That's wild.
We had to have the transducer in the hole. There's about 12 inches of ice out there. It's actually pretty good. So we were as far out as you could go. It was open water, Lake Superior, 20 miles offshore. Where the island was right there. There's a no fishing boundary, and you could see all the waves crashing against the ice in Lake Superior. And we're 20 miles out, and
Dude,
we
forget it, bro.
had to transducer hole, but we caught fish in 210 feet of water, and we had to. I forgot my graph. Luckily, my friend John had his, so we had to split graph. But you can see everything. The beam is so big in 200 feet of water, you can see fish 50 feet away.
Forget that, dude. Last year when I went out to when before opener there on the courthouse, there was open water over there by like where the dock area was, and even just seeing that, I was like, forget it. I'm like,
I'm
come
out.
here, bro.
I'm out. Yeah.
I
And then you see all those shacks out there.
Dude, the Metro Lakes scare me more than like, especially Minnetonka. They have all the channels and stuff in between. Like that's where everyone always goes through.
Yep.
It's that man-made stuff, the cement, the bridge under bridges. That cement and stuff's heating that ice up, and that's when people forget
right.
that. It might be small, but when it's close to stuff, like around docks, can be really dangerous. Even on a lake, when people keep their dock in, that can be some of the worst ice in the whole lake.
Anything that holds any heat
Correct.
whatsoever,
Yeah.
especially at daytime.
Anything
when the
that's
sun,
taking heat when it's sunny,
Rocks do the same thing.
100%.
black
Rocks are
rocks.
bad too,
sun hits it, just like
Yeah.
us wearing black material.
and that's why the shore thaws first,
Yep.
because that ground's heating up by the shore,
Correct.
and then it also freezes first, which is strange.
That
And
is
warmer
strange.
water's on the bottom,
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we talked about that.
and that's why they have
yeah, part of that stratification process. So
that's why they have those ice defense pros now that have the tube that goes down. They have actually have them for your tip ups now, like my iFish Pros, and they take water from underneath 6 inches under the water and cycle it to the top, and not just bubbles. Bubbles don't really do anything when it's really cold. They just make foamy ice. That's pretty much. But that ice defense, I don't know, that they're awesome, dude. Have you used them before?
no, never used it. But I've heard. I've,
They
yeah,
work.
They,
They
Seen
work.
videos.
They got
They
it
look
good.
awesome.
Does your dad ice fish?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're big in fishing and hunting, so yeah. We fish as quick as we can. My brother, he's got the balls. He's out there when it's an inch, and I'm like, dude, and he's always dragging me. I'm like, you go. You fall in first.
What's your favorite fish to fish for, winter or summer?
Winter is probably just panfish and walleyes, and then in the summer, you got the walleyes, mostly smallies, so bass. I like largemouth fishing
Yeah.
around here, and then Mille Lacs, and then go up higher. Pretty much go any lakes we know of. Or my dad grew up in Park Rapids, so near Park Rapids, up from there,
That's
from
where I
Red
grew up.
Lake.
I'm from there.
PR.
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
So I
That's
know
a
all
great
those
place.
lakes.
Oh yeah. Island
I
Lake.
grew up on one of them. A couple of them actually.
Did you grow up on Island
I
Lake?
did not.
Yeah, Island Lake, the bat or the not the bass, the walleye.
Are you familiar with that area?
I am a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so there's the Man Trap chain of lakes,
Yeah,
which is like Man Trap, Lower Bottle, Upper Bottle, Emma, Big Sand, Little Sand,
I know that sand. Yeah.
Beltane. Yeah, I lived on one of the sands.
Okay. my
You know that one on TV with the 1-800 the sands.
Great smallmouth fishing
Yeah.
is what I'm meaning to say.
it's good. The walleye up there is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now up in Bemidji, I fish around there, and we're mainly catching walleyes, but we'll catch a bass once in a while.
Okay.
I'm big into fishing. I'll catch anything.
If it bends your rod, you're good.
Oh yeah.
I
Not
like that.
like maybe a world record
about
bluegilling
catfish?
crappie. You know, I don't like that.
What about catfishermen? Are you cool with them or?
Oh, I don't care. They can catch
All right,
all they
good,
want. I don't.
good.
I don't mind who catches what.
I caught a catfish one
Hey,
time.
you might take a look at the table here. Look before you answer that one.
Oh yeah, I don't care if you guys catch. I mean, what's wrong with catching catfish?
There's everything right about catching catfish. is what
For-
you
They're a
want,
good time.
I like it when if I see a
Especially when you don't weigh as much as you think that fish might weigh. Your
Especially
flatheads get
Are you
big.
gonna take the summer off?
summer 4.
Are you
Is
going
he-
back in summer?
Has he seen my
Yeah.
catfish? So I got a 118-pound blue cat.
Holy crap!
It's on YouTube if you want to watch it, but
I'll watch it.
it was the most
They saw the-
exhilarating catch of my life, and I've done a lot of fishing.
Scotty
Yeah.
took a picture of that mount.
That's a massive
Yeah.
I have the replica in my room.
Yeah.
It really gets the girls going.
See?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you
I'll
need to hang
pull
a
it up.
catfish.
They come in
Yeah,
going,
you
I like.
Dude,
uh,
I didn't think it was that massive until we went to go take a look at
and
it.
it's just
The pictures don't do
Do it
that
any
thing.
justice.
No.
They do not do it in justice.
Like
But,
Eric
you know-
Frank did an amazing job.
was
on
it a
that.
flathead?
Blue cat.
Oh, blue
Blue.
cat.
They were thinking like, let's bring it here to the shop so people can come look at it and take pictures with it.
Dude, I
you know, and
want
was
to,
like,
but I don't.
forget it.
No.
I don't even want to mess
No.
with it.
No,
I wouldn't even take it to a sportsman show.
I don't want that thing behind me because if I move wrong and it falls, I want no part of that.
how did you catch
Oh
them?
my god!
On a-
And that's behind this one.
that's
here.
like 23 pounds. Mine's 118.
That thing's massive.
Look at that.
That the one on the right is big, but then
Right.
the one on the left, yours is just
Yeah, that's
huge.
Yeah, it's not small.
a big. That's a big.
How did
catfish.
you-
I mean,
Yeah.
that replica is like,
Oh, there's that better picture.
Yeah, that replica is huge.
What did you?
That's a.
What do you use to catch them?
pork
Skipjack.
belly right there.
What's that?
It's a herring. They're down south.
Yeah.
And so we went up to we were there. I was with Jacob. It was our first not our first big show. It was our first show we had filmed with our rod sponsor. Is a newer catfish rod company, and we had never filmed a show with his rods until that point. And he wasn't that well known. He kind of built really unique, super colorful rods, kind of like the Mad Cats now. He kind of
Mhm.
pretty much started that whole trend in the catfish rod community, to be 100% honest. And we were going to Missouri. We were going to fish blue cats. I've only done it like 5 times before that. And I had catfished a ton, but we went to St. Joe, Missouri, and spent like $200 on bait, cut bait. Because we're like, we're going to need all this bait. We ended up not using like 150 pounds of it. We wasted so much bait. Yeah, we waited out this storm, and
Oh, storms will do so
we were
much to
sitting.
fish.
We hid under this
So good.
overhanging tree on this little tiny beach on the Missouri River. The Missouri River is a whole beast. It's a very crazy fast, super high flow river. It's crazy. It's intimidating river if you've never been to it. And the storm finished. We went to this channel swing, is where the channel in the river hits the shore, and then it starts starting to go into the other side. Right at the front of that channel swing, where it hit the bank. And typically they're marked with markers on the Missouri River for boats, barges, so you kind of know where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And we casted in his. If you see the video, his rod folds or bends. He has a fish on, and as I'm talking, he's like, the fish. It's where the current goes from here over to here. The moment he did that, my rod went straight down to the water, and it's 7 mile an hour current. Doesn't sound like a lot. That's 100,000 cubic feet per second in that
Mhm.
river. It's insane. That fish dragged me. We had ended up pulling anchor because it was spooling me on my 7,000 Abu. I couldn't tighten the drag anymore. I had 80 pound leader, 80 pound main line, and I could not stop it. I was trying to thumb it. It just kept going, and we ended up pulling anchor, clipped it to a life jacket, threw the life jacket in the water with all the rope, took off, floated almost 2 miles with it, and I finally, if you see the video, I'm pulling it up, and my rod's completely teed down, like the tips to the handle, and I'm trying to.
Jeez.
It was insane. It'll make you smile if you don't even like catfishing. Like I tell people, if you're in
Yeah.
a bad mood, just watch that video because You'll never
Okay.
see me more happy.
I like catching bullhead for people that like to catfish.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
I'll just catch bullhead and
It's
be like,
mostly-
here, take
yeah.
that and go.
I used to do that for
catfishing.
somebody.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, not
me.
you. No,
no,
no.
not me.
I like I like my other fish that I like to fish are trout and salmon.
God, trout are a cool species.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they
salmon, king salmon, and
Yeah.
all the species are just awesome.
I got
see
my
if-
biggest king is 40. My biggest lake trout now is 39.
Nice.
I broke my 30. I broke my biggest lake trout ever. That's a sick brown trout.
It's
By
a
the way.
15-11.
I have a pretty good one.
Wow.
That's
15
bigger
pounds,
than
11. My buddy fished on this lake, Great Pond. It's called Great Pond. He fished on this lake a better part of 20 years before he got
That's
that
a
thing.
sweet brown.
That's a beauty.
You ever hear they see the ones out of Milwaukee
No.
on the ice?
Text me that picture. So we can put it.
You should go do that. You want to catch a big brown?
Yes.
How big?
Geez, I'm not sure by the sounds
so,
of it.
No, so there's a guide out of Milwaukee,
Yeah.
Wisconsin,
Mhm.
Lake Michigan. If you want to catch a 25-pound brown on the ice, go fish with him. His name's Hadia is his last name. He has the hot stick. He has his own rod for lake trout. He took out Donald Trump Jr. He took out all those guys. He catches eat. We were out there when he was out there. We were trying to film. It was 20 below. It was one of those times when your hands get so cold it hurts so bad when you get them warm.
Yeah.
Like it's the most excruciating pain.
Horrible.
It's like
You
that
know,
sting.
like I said, I would have rather broken my arm twice than have that pain I had that day. I caught like a 6 or 7 pound brown. I watched him catch 2 over 25. I watched, dude. I'll show.
So my buddy, if I told my buddy that they caught that 15-11, he'd be like, "What?
That's a small fish out there.
Wow."
He. Well, you talked about this before about the hook and covering people cover canals and cover. That's an inlet to it's an inlet off the main lake, and it's like a square, and he blocks the whole entrance to
Right
it
off.
with jaw jackers, auto sets.
No way.
Dude, he
That's how
catches.
that's how he does it?
You have to. You can't sit there and jig
Wow.
those fish.
No, you can't. You're right.
So we had one. I caught mine, and Jacobs went off, and it pulled the rod all the way home, snapped his rod in half, and broke off. It was one of the giants. I mean, but
how many moments have people had like that though? You think you're caught up on a log, and that's a
Mhm.
fish.
Oh, I've had that a couple times.
And then there's
yeah.
that one little jerk that you do, and all of a sudden,
Sometimes those big walleye trick me, like when they'll be so heavy in the river, especially they don't always fight right away. You set like you're
Right,
jigging,
they
and all of a
sit
sudden it's
there.
heavy, and you're like, shit, it ain't moving, and then all of a sudden it all starts pulling. I'm like, oh, I either snagged a big carp or buffalo, or I got a big walleye.
Big
on.
walleye. God, I love that feeling. You know, somebody asked Carl Lacey asked me recently. He asked me. He goes, you know, for us and these kids, you know, they as a young kid, when you because you really don't have much control as a kid in your life. You are told when you can do things, you can this, you can that.
Yeah.
But when you got a fish on the end of that rod or that tip up, and you're pulling it up, that's a control that you get to be in control of. And that feeling, I guess, is what's brought, you know, maybe a lot of us to. I know it brought me there. You know, you feel helpless as a kid, and then you feel like you own the world when you pull that fish in. You know,
Yeah.
and it's a big feeling.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna have to try some catfishing, and you guys get me all catfished up here. I'm gonna have to try some of that.
Here's the one he caught yesterday. That's him. Same
Are
spot.
you kidding me?
No, dude.
Dude, those are whales.
Yeah. Dude, that's what I'm. If you want to go catch one, hire him.
Yeah. What's the name of the professional angler? Okay, Hataja.
Hadia.
Hadia.
Yeah, we'll put
His
him on.
ice ones are even.
You know,
he's hating this because he's gonna have to show all these pictures in the podcast.
Yeah, he's gonna have to edit all
I'll
of
just
this
send you-
I'm
in.
trying to remember how many pictures you guys are showing right now, so we can show them to the viewers.
I'll remind you.
Jesus Christ.
I'll send you that picture of that muskie too that I caught.
Yeah.
The big one.
Yeah.
Send you that one as well.
Kind of.
You know, it's something I met a girl about a little over a year ago, a native girl, who is like everything that she did in her life right here, you know, in Jordan down on that river. That's probably the same river, I'm sure. And she lived to go flathead fishing. That's what she everything she talked about, everything she is involved in has something to do with that.
It's
Bringing her
awesome.
kids. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's so. I've never caught a big catfish like that. Horn pout would be the biggest thing with whiskers I've caught. You know what I mean? But I'd love to try that sometime.
I haven't gotten any like what Luke's got to that caliber by any means, but
That's a whale, bro. That's a big 118 pounds.
yeah, it's
Jesus. Oh my god, that's a 10-inch hole.
8 or 10-inch hole.
Oh yeah,
That's yeah.
that's a 10-inch hole.
That's the browns they catch out
That's
there.
a
It's
whale.
Oh, Lord.
stupid.
Where's this at?
That is
Milwaukee. That was that fish right there.
Oh my god.
Do you ever have problems? You know, you pull them out of the ice and you just don't have a big enough hole.
I've had to drill
Oh,
2 holes. for that
Sturgeon,
reason.
sturgeon. That happens. Sturgeon. People go out
Yeah.
and catch sturgeon, and they don't realize how that the big ones typically won't fit in a single 8. So that's why we do triple holes. But it's weird because in Wisconsin it's illegal to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a hole over 10 inches in Wisconsin on the river on the Croix. So people still do it because you have to be able to safely get the fish
Yeah.
up. I mean,
Well, that's like when I buy a place on a lake in a couple of years, I'm thinking I might buy just over the border in Wisconsin because it costs me nothing to have all my shacks out there. Here it costs me $30 per shack to have them all out there. And it's not much, $210, but still the fishing. Oh man, Wisconsin fishing.
you ever sight fished on the ice?
No.
You ever used an ice saw?
No.
Have you guys?
Mm-mm.
I did once.
I've
ice
just
saw?
sight fished them like I don't know
When
whenever
that
they're
dude fell
coming
in.
in shallow and
So that I have an ice saw I take especially I use when I go up north to my parents' lakes because they're super clear. And all those lakes up by Bemidji for the most part are really clear. And I'll drill like a 5-6 foot hole every time when I go out fishing when I'm sitting in my shack. And I have tip ups out, but then I'm literally sitting in like last year, my first time out on walleye up at Park Rapids there, and we were sight fishing all day off this big rock point. Like he said, fish points. It's always a decent bet that there's probably going to be fish that come through there.
Yep.
And we were sight fishing, trying to get fish during the day, seeing if we could see at least like a winter smallmouth. It's a great winter smallmouth spot. It's super big boulders with gravel. Scream smallmouth fishing and walleye on the bottom gravel. And we didn't catch anything all day. Nothing. I don't even think we saw fish in the sight hole. And my friend Barb that was with me, she's terrified of that hole. Like it was 6 feet long, 3 feet across. Deeper, it's about as long as this table, but a little deeper, and it was huge. I sawed that thing. It's only about a foot of ice, thankfully. I sectioned it off and pushed them under the ice off to the deep end, and the sun went down, and I caught like a 24 inch walleye. And then my bobber went down again. I'm just bobber fishing with a rainbow, super lazy fishing. And my bobber went down. No, that was my first walleye was 31. And then I caught this like 12 pounds. And then I caught a smaller one. And then my bobber went down for the third time. She's like, "What the hell are you?" And I was like, "Dude, we're using the same thing next to each other." So I just gave her the rod. But ice fishing with an ice saw, sight fishing. That's what I was getting. Trout fishing, sight fishing up there is sick. You can do it. You can do it here too on quarry. You can sight fish with the ice saw.
I seen that guy from Uncut Angling. Do
Yeah, they all do that.
for trout
Yeah, that's insane.
up there in Canada.
Well, I know a guy that caught a 28-pound pike on a trout line, ice fishing, trout line. I never seen anything like it. I'm like, how?
That's crazy.
How? Yeah, I was just blown away. And you just get a little hook. I'm like, come on, man. There's no way.
I hooked a
like,
muskie once on my little fluke over on Minnetonka.
I'm talking.
We were just looking at it, and it was just like staring at it.
What'd you catch it on? A flu?
A flu.
Flew one way and flew the other.
It was the smallest one that I found, and I was just jigging it with a wax drum, and he was just staring at it, and then and that's when he took off. He just just took my line, took it until finally I was just pulling until it just came off.
You
Just-
ever thought about just being able to be at the bottom of like a 20-foot hole in a capsule and just watching everything that goes on? I mean, I have cameras and stuff, and I can get down pretty far, and it's cool to see things. But to actually be under like the underwater world,
You know, I really enjoy like when they go up to like Leech Lake and they're ice fishing and they have those video cams on down there, and you can see the bite. You can see how
My
they're
new one
torturing and everything.
records, so I'm going to be making some this winter.
Yeah,
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
in full high def too, full recording. I can put it in my video. So I'm gonna put some on some tip ups. I'm gonna put some up north. It's so easy because the water's so clear.
Yeah.
I mean, I could literally probably get 2 tip ups on one camera for, well, maybe not that much, but it's crazy.
So I know some guys that do. They were getting ready when I go on the ice. They're going to do a video. So market me for pennies. And these guys got, I mean, professional, $10,000 cameras. You know what I mean? And then they graduated from college and this and that. And I got a meeting with them on December 2nd. So I'll get some information about that. Maybe I can bring him some business as well as maybe if you guys are interested in any of that. Anybody wants to,
My guy is a professional videographer
Is-
for a fishing show.
Okay, yeah.
My business partner.
Oh, I see.
That's what he does for a living.
Oh, okay.
You'll know if you
So
see,
you probably-
if you watch the channel, you'll understand.
Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah.
yeah, you got nice video.
Is it good video work? Yeah.
Can't
It's like
compare.
TV quality. I mean, I don't do that.
Yeah.
We have the camera like that too, but I'm not the guy.
Yeah.
I'm just in the videos.
I'd be too scared to even take it out.
Yeah, well,
Scared.
we want to do it when everybody's out there fishing, kind of do
Hell
a
yeah.
promotional video, and then we're thinking maybe about. I'm waiting to hear from a buddy of mine, but we may be able to get it on TV for a little bit.
That'd be cool.
Like
And they're going to do it for really cheap.
yeah.
That's really nice
I
of them
can't
because
even-
it's really expensive.
I can't even tell you the price, bro. That's
I'm-
I'm like I
you
can't
don't
even
have to,
say what
but
it is. It's so
it
cheap.
is
but-
extremely expensive to do that kind of stuff. So
Well,
that's
I was-
really nice of them.
I was at the archery range and I hit a 60 yarder, right? Bullseye. And he
There you
come
go.
over to me and he's like, Can I take a video of you doing that? And I'm like,
What did you do?
I hit a 60 yard bullseye with
Oh, you said
archery.
yada. I forget
Oh,
you're
yada.
from Boston.
Yeah.
I was like, what's a yada?
My car's in the backyard, but I drive a truck. So yeah, he and then he started telling me about it. He's like, listen, we're just looking to get some work. We do a bunch of little big in between projects, and I told him mine, and he told me the price, and I'm like, let's meet. Where do I sign up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and that would be great just to get that
Hell
exposed,
yeah.
exposure.
That'd be nice how they come on commercials and stuff.
I was telling
Another
Chewy that I
commercial?
want my business partner to come do a video for the bait shop
Heck yeah,
because it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he
cool.
specializes. He just does fishing. That's what he does, and he could. I'm not gonna say all the stuff he does commercials for, but he's done a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Knows the camera.
it'd
real
be
well.
cool.
Yeah, somebody from California when we were across the street had contacted me for an interview. They were gonna come down here and record because of the lures, and I was like, dude, I have not made a lure yet. I'll contact you when I start rocking and rolling because I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to show. I got nothing. So this summer I'll call them and they'll come down. They said they'll come down whenever.
Yeah.
But that's all they do is make videos. They interview lure makers, they interview bait shops, they interview. It's all fishing stuff. It's just a group of guys.
Yeah.
So much cool stuff out there that's available, and like you just met a guy randomly, and
Yeah.
now they're gonna do a video.
I
for you.
couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. I'm like, is it getting any
Yeah.
better than this?
That's
I'm a
great.
big guy that
You are a big guy.
Father Universe, Mother Nature. We all got one mom and one dad, but we only got one mother and one father. And I really believe that I've gone fishing before, and guys are like, how'd you? I go, if you're one with Mother Nature, she'll hook you up.
Yeah, there's some truth
Yeah.
to that.
Yep.
It's
Put
and-
yourself out there and take a chance.
I mean, I've had guys go out fishing with Vexilars, and I'll go out with nothing, and I pull.
You also shrug a lot of weight, though.
Yeah, those 118-pound catfish through the ice.
He's got some big shrugs. He showed me
Oh yeah.
See that?
400 plus pounds, 430,
450.
450.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's a big shrug.
Yeah, I got a video I just did the other day.
Them traps be these
I curl. 75s.
Them traps be working.
Okay.
Six reps for 4 sets.
I can curl 65 once. Is that good?
That's amazing.
Okay.
Hey, that's one.
That's
Hey,
amazing.
at least you can do one.
Right.
I probably
Scotty.
can't anymore.
I can curl 2 with perk burgers from Lisa's.
Should see me curl my Xbox.
110
controller.
here, 110 here. That sounds like 220 to me. Let's electrify this.
Scotty can curl a pint over at Lisa's place too. 2 at the doghouse
How late are
Thanks,
they
Scotty.
open?
I don't know.
till 2. What do you mean you don't
How
know?
late do they serve food?
Well, it depends on who's working that
Oh.
night.
Yeah.
One of those small town
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
That's how it is up
Yeah.
north at Lake.
Boss
Hollywood,
Hog
too.
says, "Shut it down."
Yeah, there's been times when we go out there and we order like at 10:30 and we're good, and then we'll
There's
go
other
like at
times
9:30,
we're
like,
like, no.
kitchen's closed. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You're open yesterday at 10:30. Now you're
I
going.
can still smell that fryer, bro.
It is
Come
what
on,
it
you
is.
know.
Yeah.
And that's
I could
what
go
it
for
is.
a basket
too,
of
like-
fries. Sounds amazing.
Oh.
Then you want
Yeah.
to throw out there, I'm the beach up guy, man. I'm
Yeah.
your neighbor. Come on, bro. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't buy bait.
No.
Anyways, all
Funny.
Yeah, they got good food.
Yeah.
right, brother. Well, hey,
Yes. Thank you.
joining us,
Thanks
brother.
for having me
Appreciate
here
it, man.
today, guys. And I appreciate
it.
Nice to meet
Glad
all
to
you
have you.
guys. And listen,
Yeah.
tell everybody you know. Come on out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a banner here next
You know what?
week.
I got an idea. Why don't we have a competition? The three of us against any other teams out there at the iZone.
Yeah, but where's the
for a
competition?
prize. Well, you never know. You never know.
I'm
We'll
just
we'll
kidding.
take
You
the
never
si-
know.
we'll take the 6x10
Yeah,
on
we're
that
gonna
day.
take the 6
we'll
by
get,
10.
We'll get the big
They
shack.
get the 6x10.
Before I forget, where do people find you and where do people
Yeah.
get information?
It's
Yeah.
fishtheicezone.com. That's where you can find all my information. I'm
There-
also on Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, I just started that Facebook page. I do have over 100 likes, so
Yeah.
I'm communicating with peeps and getting some stuff going. And that's just Fish the Ice Zone.
and the
as well.
website's nice too.
Yeah, the website's
Website's
really.
really nice.
I work go through iPage and.
Can
deal
you
with those guys.
book a host for a day right on the website?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Actually not yet, but you will be able to.
You will be able
Yeah,
to.
you'll be able
Okay.
to. Yeah.
Super simple, and you prepay right there too.
Yeah, you can prepay right there.
Okay, you got it figured out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's from Boston. He's
Yeah.
Boston.
Boston, dude.
Boston, Ron.
Yeah, but it's gonna be
Yes.
a competition. Well, more on that.
So
Or maybe-
you know what my name is out there because I'm from the ocean, right? So
Yeah.
it's going to be Kappa,
Kappa.
because that's what we call. So my cousins and family out there, they're on lobster boats, and that's what we call everybody Cap or Kappa, or,
Mhm.
because of the white caps and being
Yeah.
out there and everything. So it's that'll be my Ice Zone nickname kind of thing. It was Wiki. The first year it was Wiki
Yeah.
because a Wiki is a lighthouse tender. They're the ones that used to grab the little lanterns and walk
Yeah.
over and light it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and do all the fun stuff. And so, but that was just kind of, I don't know, too wicked. So we figured we change it up to Kappa this year.
Kappa.
I'll have to do the challenge with you three.
Good luck.
We appreciate that.
Good luck.
There's a pair of jeans called Lucky Brand.
and your dad can be in your team.
Oh, I don't need him.
All
I
right.
know.
Oh,
Hey.
boy. I hope he watches this episode.
Hey,
I
hey,
hope.
hey, you guys are all putting me down here. Where? No.
It sounds like the Dukes of
That's
Hazzard. Wait a
okay.
minute, that's Luke Wisbo.
That's his brother. He's out on the ice.
He's out on the ice. I
I'm
love
ready.
it.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
he's all the way up in Bemidji. I think he's on Red Lake right now.
All right, guys.
Oh,
Hey,
he's in red. That's where I'm going on
Yeah.
December 10th. I'm going up there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
all
Did,
right.
did I tell you guys about my snowmobile real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I have an old, I got a 1994 ZR580, brand new engine, brand new carb, everything. It's like a brand new sled. And I don't ever have to pay registration for it again. Thank you.
Wow.
What?
That's a forever registration because it's
Oh.
1994.
Yeah.
So I don't have to pay registration. This thing is you could pretty much just go and stand right. This thing will stand right up. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
I love snowboarding.
Oh, it's so much fun. I can't wait. Bring on the snow.
My final thought. Fish on Luke on YouTube. That's my new channel. Fish on Luke on Instagram. Fish on Luke on Twitter. Fish on Luke on Xbox Live. Northwoods Angling on YouTube is mostly what people know me for. I've been doing that for a long time. Check me out and come into Carver Bait, man. Carver, Minnesota. He doesn't talk about his bait shop enough. And I
Best
think
bait shop around.
and
It
you
is.
need to come to Carver Bait. And when you guys, if you're watching this from the catfishing world, because I'm probably going to share this on my Facebook, come in here. this spring when he gets his cat stuff up, because he got some sweet stuff from the
Yo.
Catfish Conference in Kentucky or in Kansas City.
Kansas City.
He's got some stuff you guys have probably never seen, so look forward to
Yeah,
that.
I said I was going to support you guys, and that's what I've been doing. Me and Rick have been working hard with the River Rats to get this going, and I think we came through this summer. Next
Yes.
summer, it's going to be even better. So,
What do you got, Scott?
Final thoughts.
Don't pee in the wind.
Luke, final thoughts?
I like that. I like it. Well, you gotta pee on the side of the wind, because you don't want to do this way, and then it just you'll smell very good. I don't know, Yeah, come stop by, and you might see me here once in a while.
Yeah, asking for your autograph.
My final thoughts are: if you take somebody fishing, the most selfish thing you can do is help them.
Oh, I always help everyone.
Right?
Yeah.
Most selfish you can do is help somebody else. It's funny how many people learn fishing from somebody that learned from somebody that fished.
True.
Mm-hmm.
How does
Yeah.
sometimes when I go fish, I want my friends to catch fish, so I'm helping them fish, and I'm controlling the boat or whatever. I'm catching all the fish. I'm like, dude, I just put it out and I just keep it there, and I'm just like
Trying not to catch them.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you guys.
He's
you guys
fishing
can
out of
have
the front
that.
of the boat with the trolling motor like he's not trying to catch
Oh
the
no, I'm in the back of the boat.
That's what I was going to say.
He's got daredevils hung by strings on the side of the
Yeah,
boat.
Luke's too smart for that shit. Luke's not down. He's like, well, I'm out here controlling you. I don't know what you guys are catching anything. I mean, you got the whole back of the boat.
Just watch me.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the episode of Blindcast.